Welcome to Haunted Narratives, where reality meets the supernatural. Prepare to be captivated by spine chilling tales of real life hauntings and paranormal encounters. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss out on a hauntingly good story. Our next story in this haunted narrative series is Kannamucci, the hide and seek with the unknown. After the incident of the old lady's soul being dragged by the shadow of death, Xavier was very much confused. She was not knowing that the creepy black shadow she had seen was who, and why was he dragging that old lady with chains tied around her legs. She used to ask again and again about this incident to her parents, but they always told her not to think much about it. Xavier used to always nod her head in agreement and obeyed her parents. Everything was getting better in their life. It was now almost 2 years after that incident. Xavier had grown up and even she had a younger brother who was almost 2. She used to play with her baby brother and looked after him. Nana and his wife were very happy to see their girl growing up in such a beautiful manner. Little Xavier used to stay few meters away from the seashore. Sometime she used to go with her friends to play on the beach. There was a big coconut plantation just near the beach. Sometimes they used to play on the beach Kannamucci, that is hide and seek, and go to hide behind the coconut trees. One day, one of Xavier's friends came to call her to play. Xavier took permission from her mother and went out with her. While going, Xavier's mother told them to come before lunch. She agreed to it and went happily to play with her friends. All the children were busy in playing in the sand. It was very hot. Then too, they were playing happily, forgetting about the heat. After some time, some of the children left for their homes. Now, Xavier and her friend both were playing at the beach all alone. They thought there is still time for lunch, so they will go after some time. Xavier and her friend were busy playing. Suddenly, they heard someone calling out their name behind the coconut trees. They started looking here and there, but no one was there. After some time, they again heard the same voice again, calling them. But this time, the voice was coming closer to them, and they were hearing the tingling of the anklets clearly. They turned their head and saw a small little girl standing right behind them. They were astonished to see the little girl, as they had never seen her before. Then too, she was knowing their names. Both Xavier and her friend asked the girl who was she. How did she know their name? The girl was very pretty, with big dark eyes and long curly hairs going down straight to her waist. She told them that she had just shifted to a small cottage behind the coconut plantation with her mother, and she was looking them as they were playing with their friends, and she heard their names from them. Little Xavier was very happy as she had got one more new friend to play with. Xavier and her friend told the little girl to join them in their game. They all started to play, forgetting that it was past 1 o'clock. After a while, Xavier's friend told her that they should go as it was getting late and sun was getting hotter. But then, the new girl insisted them to play for some time. She told them that they can go and play in the coconut plantation as there it was lot of shade. So all of them agreed to go there and play Kannamucci with the new girl. Xavier and her friend both went to hide behind the coconut trees, but the girl used to catch them as soon as she used to finish counting. This continued for many times. Then Xavier's friend told that she will count now and they will hide. Xavier's friend was knowing where Xavier used to hide always. So she thought she will catch Xavier and then they both will leave for their homes. After completing the counting, Xavier's friend went in search of Xavier, but she was not to be seen anywhere around. She started looking for the new girl, but there was no traces of her. Xavier's friend was getting cold feet now. She was unable to understand where they both have been gone. What if Xavier is in some danger? Zaverin's friend started to look for them everywhere, but there was no trace of both of them. She then shouted loudly that she is going back to her home, and all of a sudden, she heard something creeping down from one of the coconut tree. She turned her head towards the direction of the sound, and she was shocked. The new girl was climbing down the tree like a snake slithers down a tree, and just then she saw behind her Zaverin too was coming down, catching hold of the little girl. Zaverin's friend was in shock. She was thinking, how can they both climb up so high and get down without any difficulty? Zaverin told her friend that the new girl was very good in climbing trees and she had helped her to climb up too. Zaverin's friend was getting scared. She caught hold of Zaverin and told her to leave at once as it was already late. The new girl had become very sad upon hearing this. So Zaverin told her to come with them to their house. All three of them started to go towards their house direction. The new girl was in middle and Zaverin to her right and Zaverin's friend to her left. The new girl was walking with her hands around the neck of both the girls. Now, as they were walking, Zaverin's friend started to feel some kind of pressure on her neck as if it is being pressed against something hard and rough. Slowly they were walking and the grip on their necks began to grow more stronger. Zaverin too started to feel uneasy with the pressure around her neck. She was not able to move her head. Zaverin's friend started to feel more pressure on her neck, so she tried to get free of the grip. But as soon as she touched the hands of the girl, she felt scales and rough hairs on the girl's hand. She felt as if some animal was trying to strangulate them. She then gathered all her strength and tried to scream, looking towards Zaverin. Just then, she saw at the feet of the little girl. They had grown big, like some giant's feet, with big black hairs. The nails on her feet were big and sharp, just like a claw of some vicious animal. Zaverin's friend was trembling in fear. She made an eye gesture to Zaverin and told her to look down at the feet of the little girl. The grip on their neck was getting more stronger and tighter. Just then, Zaverin too saw the feet of the little girl who had changed into some unknown monster. The girl started to laugh in a very dangerous voice. Both Zaverin and her friend were scared. They started to free themselves from her. Somehow, Zaverin turned her head and looked upwards and had a glance on that little girl. To her shock, Zaverin saw that the little girl had turned into an old lady who was tall like a palm tree with big curly hair, and she was laughing like a demon. Zaverin then thought of nothing else. She started praying out loudly and told her friend to somehow try to bite the monstrous girl and get free from her clutches. Zaverin's friend was trying hard to get free. She was going out of her breath. Then too she tried and somehow both the girls bit that girl who had turned into a demonic creature and started running towards their house. Zaverin started praying more loudly and calling her parents for help. Zaverin's friend was not able to run fast as she was going out of her breath, so she fell down. When Zaverin's friend tried to get up, she saw back at the girl and she screamed out loudly. Now, the girl had changed into a big bad witch with long claws and talons who was laughing viciously looking at them. She was so terrified that she started running like a mad bull. They both ran towards their house and started crying out loudly. Hearing their cry, everyone came out of their houses and tried to calm both the girls. Zaverin's mother came out too, and she was terrified looking at the condition of the girls. She started to ask them what had happened with them and why they were running like this. But the girls were not able to speak up what they had seen and from what they had escaped. After some time, Zaverin and her friends both were comforted and asked again. Zaverin's friend was still shaking in fear, so Zaverin started to narrate all the incident to her mother and villagers. She told them how they were playing and the girl came to them and how she turned into a living nightmare. Zaverin's mother started crying and took both the girls close to her. Zaverin's friend fell unconscious, and for 2 days she was not able to recover from the trauma she had faced. The news of Zaverin's encounter with the witch girl spread like a wildfire. Everyone came to see Zaverin and her friend. They all told them not to go near the coconut plantation, as many evil spirits and witches roam in that part, which can take anybody's form. Nainar and his wife were very scared from this incident, but they felt proud on their daughter, as little Zaverin had faced the evil for the first time, and very bravely she escaped herself and her friend from the clutches of death. Zaverin too was shocked and terrified by this incident, but she was brave and she was knowing that God is always there to protect her from any danger and evil afflictions. After that terrible day at beach, Zaverin and her friend never went there or near the coconut plantation. And whenever they played Kannamucci, they made sure to play around their house as they don't want to face that witchy little girl again. Thank you for listening to my story, Kannamucci, the hide and seek with the unknown in this haunted narrative series. For many more haunting stories like this, please do like, share, and subscribe to Haunted Narratives. Thank you.